All right, so let's talk a little bit about how radio waves move around the planet. All right, so we have Earth here, and we have surrounding Earth, we have Earth's atmosphere, and the atmosphere has multiple layers. So we're going to look at what radio waves do in 4 of these layers. So our first layer is called the troposphere. Our next layer is the stratosphere. We then have the mesosphere. And up here is the thermosphere. There are additional other layers as well. The exosphere would be higher up than this. So we have 4 layers of our atmosphere. All right, on Earth, we have radio antennas. We have some satellite dishes, right? All right, so we've got a network of towers and satellite dishes throughout Earth. In the troposphere, this is where most of our clouds are. These are all different things that the radio waves are going to interact with. We have planes that fly. They're in the troposphere, the air that we breathe. We are standing in the troposphere, so everything from the ground surface up is all part of the troposphere, so we're standing in the atmosphere right now. And then up in our thermosphere is where all of our satellites float around in space. Okay, so now we got a satellite up there. Okay, so we also have in the middle of the stratosphere this layer, which you've all probably heard of, the ozone layer. All right, and so this is just a section of the stratosphere that contains high amounts of ozone. This is where a lot of the methane that gets released hangs out. So this is our ozone. Alright? And so our radio waves do many different things. So as we talked about in the slides, they move in different ways. So sometimes our radio waves are transmitted from towers, and they hit these clouds, and then they're reflected back down to Earth, okay? So they reflect off the clouds. Sometimes radio waves are sent from towers, and they interact with the ozone layer, and they reflect off the ozone layer. It's not straight. Sometimes we have radio waves that are sent from satellites, satellite dishes out to satellites, which then go back down to towers. Some of our radio waves, right, move ground to ground, so they're ground movement. So they're going to move from tower to tower, from tower to satellite dish. Some of these, again, bounce off of clouds. Some are going to bounce off the airplanes and move back. So there's lots of movement that's happening. And then there are a few that are so high frequency, they go all the way through our thermosphere, and then they refract. Remember, that's one of our vocab words from our light unit. They refract off into space. So we have reflection off satellites. We have refraction off the atmosphere. We have reflection off the ozone layer. We have reflection off clouds. We have tower-to-tower movement. So those are typically our UHF, VHF, are going to be tower to tower. They're going to reflect off trees and towers and all sorts of stuff. And then some of our radio waves come up and become absorbed. So again, another one of our light wave terms. Absorbed by the ozone layer. So all of those same concepts from the light waves, reflection, absorption, reflection, reflection, more reflection, reflection again, lots of reflection going on. So all of those terms, reflection, and we're transmitting, right? Because transmission of light waves, it's going from one location to another, right? So we're transmitting and all those things. So transmission, reflection, absorption, refraction, right? Those are the ways that we said that light moves. And that's how light behaves. Radio waves are light waves, so they behave in the same way. So here's our model of how radio waves interact with Earth's atmosphere.